Hello everyone, and welcome to my solo RPG journal. Today we are playing the Voidship Gang game? Voider Gang? Voidborn? Whatever I was calling it, Voidborn sounds right. This is the story of Vass, a cook for the Proward Cannon Gang. As gangs have formed over the very long life of this absolutely ginormous ship, Vass has just been introduced, taken around the ship. Is old Lal, an older member of the gang, has taken Vass around the ship, introduced her to the Bridgewood Cannon Gang, and shown her where one of the other gangs were. The Geller Boys, was I calling them the Geller Boys? They came back. They got a shipment of ammunition for the guns that they don't understand are guns, and were loading it onto the deck when they were attacked. So they got into a bit of a fight, had a bit of an argument, and charges were laid against them. The following morning, the bosun showed up, wanting to take Old Lal and Vass into custody for murder. They don't know anything about this. They did not do this. But they have been accused of murder by the Bridgewood Cannon Gang. They had a bit of an argument. Vass tried to run away. She didn't get away. But the bosun doesn't really care. He just wants all of the hassle to go away. So he has demanded that Old Lal fixes everything. He's worked a lot with Old Lal, so he knows that he's a reasonably steady hand and reasonably easy to deal with. He doesn't want any more trouble. He wants the trouble to go away. So he's hoping that maybe it will just fizzle out if he lets it go, or Old Lyle can deal with it. But if it continues, he'll be back. So following that, what would happen next? Old Lyle would probably set out by himself to talk with and negotiate with, well, by himself I mean not with Vass. I'm sure that a group of people, a group of the gangers will be going down or up towards the other cannon in order to have a conversation and try to clear the air. We don't know anything about it. The question is, does he want to bring Vass? I don't think he does. I think that he's going to just go off and do that by himself and tell Vass to stay where she is. So she's going to be sort of cornered by the other gangers as he leaves with a group of, I can't say heavily armed, but armed men ready to have a conversation that could go sideways. Hopefully not, but could. Whereas this would then leave the other cooks, other people that Vass knows, to try and find out if she's all right. They just tried to take her and try and probably keep her out of the way, but busy. So what would happen is I need to probably create a characters section, but we had another character, Arda, a conniving outcast, gaunt Voidborn, 175 centimeters tall, 60 kilos, 18 years old, porcelain skin, auburn hair, black eyes, curved spine. Motivations: advise racism. Ooh. In this case, it wouldn't be racism so much as the other gang, right? It's that I think is suggesting that she would push a us versus them mentality, them being the other gang. How dare those bastards? Shepherd wrath, persecute enlightenment. All right. So she's going to, well, let's have a look at her. Probably roll another new conversation. Oh dear. So Arda comes up to Vass. I think that probably the cooks have sort of pulled her away and, making sure she's okay, getting to continue help cleaning up after breakfast. I believe they've just finished breakfast. It was following her finishing breakfast that all of that happened. So she's been given some task to go clean this, make sure this is stocked, get in the storerooms, make sure all of this is all okay, to keep her busy and out of the way, because she's just had all of this stuff foisted on her. All of these accusations happened, and that's a good way of dealing with it, right? So, Arda comes up to her, very concerned, very concerned for her. Oh my God, how are you? Are you okay? How dare those assholes? What kind of language would they use for the other gang? How dare those flea-bitten maggots? Kind of thing. They've come around and they've accused you of this to the bosun. They've gone to the bloody bosun as opposed to bringing it up with us, bringing it up themselves. Cowards. Because, of course, she's demeanor insane, bearing turmoil. Focus, the current scene. Oh, dear. So she's very, very concerned for Vass. How dare you? How dare they do these things? Are you okay? Surely, you've got to teach them a lesson, right? We can't let this go. You need to go and find out what happened. You need to get out there and stick one to them. I'll help you get out. Make sure you need to make sure that they really understand not to mess with us. How dare they mess with you like that? You never did anything. They came along here and started a fight. Vass, I think, would be a bit in shock and a bit all over the place, but a bit wary of this. We never did anything, and she'd probably explain this. We never did anything. We just went around and talked to Raga. I think it was Raga. There were some of the gangers there, and they were a bit hostile. They didn't particularly like us. And we never particularly liked them, but we had a conversation and left. Why would we have a conversation and leave, and then go off and kill something? It doesn't make any sense. What their claims are make no sense. I think Arda's going to go, well, obviously that's not happened. Maybe there was an accident. They're just blaming you, or maybe something else has to have gone wrong, and you're just the easy scapegoats. You've got to go and make sure that things don't that they don't get away with this. Like, they've just lied to the bosun. You've got to go and make sure that everything's okay. And so she's trying to convince Vass to go out and do something very stupid. Vass probably isn't keen on starting anything, but I think that bearing his turmoil, demeanor is insane. Because her demeanor's insane, I'm wondering if I should, how well would Vass notice? I think that there's maybe a roll here to make. Looks like awareness fellowship is the roll. $61 versus 42, which is 3 degrees of failure. To notice that, to notice how agitated Arda is. Now, she might have her own thoughts of the ideas, and I think that she's not against causing. Oh, I think that she is against causing trouble. She doesn't want to make anything worse, but she doesn't realize how much Arda is pushing her into causing more problems, because Arda's got something against these guys and is just off the deep end. So I think that Arda is going to suggest that they sneak out, or at least Vass sneaks out, and I think that for the sake of the story, Vass is going to go along with it, and she's thinking, well, look, I'm not going to cause any problems, but I can find out what's going on because Arda's talking some mad trash about these people and all of the lies that they're telling to the bosun. And, maybe they're doing, you know, other favors for the bosun. Maybe there's, everyone, she's completely mad and thinking that, everyone's out to get them. Big conspiracy and all of that. And while Vass isn't buying into it wholesale, there's something there. Something isn't right about this situation because they've been accused of something that they didn't do. So, where does it start and who is involved? Is it just the gang? Someone shot at them. Someone shot at them and the other gang didn't know anything about it. So, something's up. So Vass is going to attempt to sneak out, and this is Arda's idea. Going to sneak her out of the camp, off the gun deck with no one watching. And I think this is going to be difficult. I don't think it's going to be hard or challenging. It's definitely not ordinary. Ooh, maybe it is a bit ordinary. I mean, everyone is used to seeing her around doing things. Now everyone's a bit more aware of her because of the big conversation that's just happened, the big issue. And so her leaving the deck is going to be, that's not ordinary. That's going to be difficult. But moving through towards it and not being noticed, the only real challenge is getting out. So we'll call it difficult, getting out without being noticed. And this will be some kind of stealth roll? Stealth agility. I don't know that my agility was great. Oh, my agility's 40. Okay, so 30 to win. Well, that's the worst possible roll you can get in this game. 100 is not what you want. It is an automatic failure or a critical failure or something. I did just have a look through the rulebook and I couldn't find anything detailing what we should do in this case, if we should, do critical failure like in the storyteller system, or if it's just an automatic failure. I think that there were specific rules for combat, but on just a stealth roll, it's just 8 degrees of failure. So I think that this is going to just turn into, hang on. What are you doing? You're not. Someone's going to notice very quickly, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? I think that with 8 degrees of failure, we should probably actually make it worst case scenario. So I was going to say you could go, they notice you straight away. But if they notice you not doing the thing straight away, then they don't necessarily know what your intention is. But I think instead we should go worst case scenario, which is they know you're intending to sneak off. They know you're trying to sneak off and do your own thing. So the head cook, I'm not sure if I actually I'm pretty sure I didn't have a name or anything for him, notices immediately that she's tried to stop doing whatever she was doing. Cleaning everything she was trying to clean. Oi, hang on. What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Arda's probably still around, but not quite close. I think that Vass has tried to sneak off, and so Arda's started to peel off, but sort of pretend that she's going to be an alibi. What do you think you're doing? The head cook's going to go, all right, you probably can't help. What do you think that you can do? Going off by yourself is dangerous, especially at the moment when they're out for blood. The rest of the party are going to deal with it. You need to just stay here, stay back until we receive word of what's happened. And she's not going to be particularly keen on this. But I think that Vass is going to have to start, just sort of accept this, and because the other cooks are going to be a lot more wary of what she's doing now. They don't want her sneaking off, and because who knows what trouble she could get into. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a clock. I'm going to start a clock with 1 tick on it now for something bad. Looking at the time, we're going to call this session here. In the next session, we will find out what happened to Old Lal when Old Lal comes back and see what action we can try and take. The end of that action will result in another tick. In fact, once this clock is full, that's it. Something bad happens. Some kind of fight breaks out or something, and we'll work that out at the time. But we have essentially lost this chance. We've been delayed and lost this chance for something to happen. So next session, we'll see the tensions raise a little bit, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more action from our protagonists. It's an interesting thing. On one hand, this is good. We're seeing some kind of narrative come around, but this main character that's supposed to be a driving force it feels a bit weird because it feels like stuff is happening to her as opposed to the other way around. If she's not able to sneak off and get away from the deck in the next session, we'll have to see how that works. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.